Re-recording. Hello people, what is going on? I am Jacob, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon VoltWhite version. Last time, we made it here to... What's this place named again? Twist Mountain, thank you. And we were sadly interrupted by my misplanning. This time, well today, we're going to continue going through Twist Mountain. And maybe make it to Ice Sister's gym. Or Icarus. I truly don't know the name for it. So, if you're wondering why there wasn't a VoltWhite last week, well, Friday, not last week. Well, long story short, the exact same thing happened, like, what happened on Monday? What happened on Monday, which was, I invited a friend called, but I did not mean to save. A friend called, asked to come over, like, just as I'm beginning recording, so I rushed it, and it turned out, like, complete and utter shit. But, luckily, for me, I, for some reason, had a save state at, right before I recorded the episode, which I probably should do more often, considering how useful it's proven to be. Just in case I need to re-record an episode, but honestly, this is the second time I've ever had to re-record an episode. Not saying I have had to re-record that the second time, but it's just... I never had to re-record an episode prior to now. Well, the only time I've had... Nah, what am I trying to say? I never have to. The only time I've had to re-record an episode of anything has been, I think an entire session of, Donkey Kong Country 2. My first LP. And... that was just because I completely forgot to hit the record button. Last time, with, what I would be doing now in VoltWhite, or what I did back then, rather, what happened there was because, well... sorry. What happened was, again, it turned out shitty recording. Shitty commentary, I really was rushing it, I couldn't focus on anything, because, unlike last time, I was like, what happened, last week, why I was interrupted, was that, my friend called, and I was like, okay, I need to record VoltWhite, so I better as well do that. But, Thursdays when I recorded which would have been Friday's episode, I was about to record VoltWhite. I was going through my vocal exercise of me reciting the Great Mighty Pooh, and that's when he called, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna be in here in half an hour. My episodes are roughly half an hour. I am screwed. And I rushed the episode, to put it bluntly. And I didn't even grab out any documentation. I don't even know why I say them out loud anymore. All the Pokemon you can find available in that small box in the bottom right corner. Shouldn't be that hard. Also, welcome to Ice Sister City. In winter, you can find ice here. And... that. In windmills! You can find a windmill here, apparently. In winter, the water, which would be puddles where you can catch wild Pokemon, will freeze over, making it unable to get to. Let's talk to these kind people. Ah. Some idiot Team Rocket bud there. Oh, we got another rich candy bar. Well, that's nice. What do you have to... Dude. Dude! In a faraway region. I wonder if that region was... Team Rocket was in Kanto and Johto, right? Both of them? Which makes me think, what region did he work in? The Kanto one or Johto one? Okay, that's Route 8. Not want to go there. There's a gym here. I'm just wandering around because I never got the chance to in my previous, recording attempt. Okay, just making sure. I was like, there really shouldn't be... Wow. Ultra Ball, Timer Ball, anything else? Any other balls? Doesn't matter, I'm only using Pokeballs this run. Well, I can definitely not get that winter, I don't think. I can try. Yeah, I am trying, but I can't. Well, that's a bummer. Man, this place is just loaded with items. Okay, I already know exactly where that is. Don't have to worry about getting in a trainer battle with these people. They're not much of a threat. Well, they're just... I don't know what the hell they're doing, to be perfectly honest. And we're just getting items off the wazoo. And rare candy. Fans of everyday Pokemon. I don't care about that right now. I probably won't care at any point in the near future. And if anything taught me anything, I'm going to search each and every one of these houses for something useful. Thinking about changing it. I think I'm good. Bryson was in the movies a long time ago. Okay, that's... Well, that actually kind of reminds me. I want to say it was 2 to 3 episodes ago, the one that was named Renovations, where I had basically... Why would I say where I had basically... Where I switched up just like half of my team. Well, I think I might actually do that again. Here's what I'm thinking. You know, I'm thinking. It's a terrible idea when I start thinking. I'm trying to get my types fixed around and all that such. I'm trying to make sure I have something to cover each type, and I'm also looking forward towards the Elite Four. By the way, this music is the music. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's louder for me than usual, and I have to speak louder if I even want to hear myself. I know I can just turn the volume down, but I don't want to do that. It'll be hard for post-editing Jacob to fix that. Sorry, I just put my elbow on my keyboard. I don't know what the hell that would have done, but oh well. Okay, back to the whole team rearranging. Remember that Larvesta or Volcarona, whatever it is, that I caught way back when? Yeah, I think I may actually take that one out. Take that Pokemon out. And at the same time, I'm also thinking of... Well, long story short, I need a 6th party member. I need one that I can use to cover a lot of types. I need to make sure I'm set for the Elite Four. Something I think about the Elite Four in this game, I don't know if it's true or not. But the Elite Four in Gen 5 games, you can challenge in any order you want. The types are Ghost, Psychic, Dark, and Fighting. Well, really, I just need a Pokemon that can handle Fighting, which technically I might have. Reason I'm not concerned about anyone else. One Pokemon I think would be able to take all those. Absol. Maybe thinking to yourself, why would Absol be able to it? Isn't Absol a Dark type? Isn't there a Dark type Elite Four? Well, that is completely true. There is a Dark type Elite Four. However, Absol learned some pretty kick-ass moves later on. The nearest one being what could help towards Dark and Psychic Gym, the Dark and Psychic Elite Fours. The first move, I think he learns in a few levels actually. Maybe I can bring I think it's at level 66 or 69. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't have the documentation. At that level, Absol will learn the move Mega Horn, a very powerful bug-type move. Yeah, it's kind of ironic. Bug types, my least favorite types of all of them. I hate bugs to death because they're really super effective against Absol. I'm able to use that move to work on the psychic type, switching on how they're weak to bugs. And then there's... It just used dive on me. May as well just use a slash. It's gonna do that. Well, Mega Horn. It's a good bug type move. It's effective against psychic and dark, and as well as Absol's Night Slash or whatever. It will also help when on the... Well, dark will help on the psychic too. Again, with the Mega Horn is also able to work pretty well against Dark-type Elite Four, because they're weak to Bug. Also, but I believe there are some Pokemon that wouldn't be that effective wouldn't be that affected by Bug because of another type they are, like Bisharp. Yeah, let's take Bisharp. Pokemon that basically says my last name, but isn't. Bisharp is a Dark and Steel, and as you would probably expect, Bug wouldn't be exactly that effective because it's Steel. However, at level 77 or something like that, Absol learns the move Superpower. I know you're thinking, what? And even when you probably heard Mega Horn, you're probably thinking, what? Well, this is a ROM hack, and they made Absol pretty good in this ROM hack. They gave him Mega Horn and Superpower, which I very much appreciate. I'm gonna use the Hyper Potion here, and apparently I was right the second time. It is at level 6. It's anywhere from 67 to 69. One of those three. It's yeah. Ew. Okay, send out Poliwrath. I was gonna send out Zapdos to take care of it because it's part water, I believe. The problem is it's part ice too, and would probably kill Zapdos, which I'm not a fan of. And then there's the Fighting Elite Four. I can take care of Absol with maybe Chandelure, which would be kind of a bad idea because if it's faster, then I'm fucked. And then use Absol for Night Slash and all that shit. To be perfectly honest, I just want to keep Poliwrath out. Lost completely train of thought. Hello there, train of thought. Nice knowing ya. See you later. What? Give me a second, I'm trying to regain what I was going for. I'm assuming it's a different... I don't know what the hell Slowbro... I don't know what Slowbro is. Maybe it's a part Psychic. I have no clue. Oh yeah, I was talking about the Ghost type Elite Four. What would probably happen with that? Well, first of all, Absol would be useful because Dark works on Ghost. But I'm also going to need another Pokemon. And right off the bat, you could probably be thinking... Chandelure! It's a Ghost type. It has Ghost type moves. It's also a Fire type, so that would be amazing. Wrong answer! It's... difficult for me to... It's not difficult for me to explain. What the hell am I talking about? What it is Chandelure is not the fastest Ghost type. I know that for a fact. There are probably faster and better Ghost types out there, like... The only one I can name off the top of my head, Gengar. And with, I don't know if it's faster or just or a bit stronger in some spaces than others. Well, that Jinx just fucked my plan up. Okay, that was terrible. With it, Chandelure being super effective against Ghost, if it's faster, Chandelure's fucked and I'm stuck with only one Pokemon that would be effective against the entire type in general. I don't want that. What I want is a Pokemon that can deal Ghost-type moves, but not be that weak to it. But unlike Chandelure. That's where my whole team kind of mess up comes in. Like, not mess up, but more reorganization. I want to get more types. On my Twitter, which I'm pretty sure none of you follow, despite how many times I mention it. Links in the description. Hi. Every time, on Twitter, I asked for a Dragon-type Pokemon because I was thinking of using one my last Pokemon. The problem is, honestly, it wouldn't be that super effective, but they would have good type moves. The ones that I was suggested was, ones I can name off the top of my head, Dragonair, Flygon, and Haxorus. If you watched the series for a while, like 10 or so episodes ago, you would know that one of the episodes, worst episode ever, I think it was number 10. Why am I standing around looking at my Pokemon, first of all? I caught a Trampinch. Trampinch evolves into Flygon, one of those 3 Pokemon mentioned. However, Flygon is part ground. You're thinking, what's wrong with Flygon being part ground? It makes, well, first of all, it makes it very super effective against ice. Now, which is not a good thing. Which is probably its only weakness other than Dragon. Doesn't help at all. And also, it has what I don't like, a type confliction with someone already on my team. That one being Mamoswine. You could say, just get rid of Mamoswine. I'll be thinking, okay, what I want to switch it with. I want a Ice type that to go with it. And I'm standing here as I'm saying all this as I'm standing in a complete gym based on Ice types. Many Pokemon I can choose from. We got the Snowbirds, the Weaviles, the Abominable Snows. We got Bear Arctics. I can't believe I just named that many Pokemon off the top of my head. To be completely honest. And there's more Ice-type Pokemon that I can't name off the top of my head because I'm a senior dumb. Yeah, I already mentioned Weavile. But with that, there'll probably come another type confliction. I'll be like, why doesn't it stop? And with that type confliction, I actually want to switch Pokemon here. With the type confliction makes that to get rid of another Pokemon. Most likely, that may be Chandelure. Because, I don't know, maybe it could be Chandelure. Could not. I don't know. I'm not the best informed with what Pokemon they exactly have. I have documentation sitting to my left of me. I'm not off to get it. And by the way, that Weevil is going to screw me up if I don't kill it soon. Thank you, Chandelure. It's not like having a type advantage over the type that the Elite Four member is based on. That helps. At the same time, there's also Pokemon that have a second type that would kind of negate and mess up that. I'll use the example I used earlier in the Dark type Elite Four. The one Pokemon I mentioned was Bisharp. Wouldn't be normally affected against Bug, which I would have used for Absol. Then I would have to use Superpower or anyone else that knows a fighting type move. then maybe there's other ones. That Bishop's the only one I can name off the top of my head. Maybe there's a dragon in there. Maybe I want an ice type. Long story short, I want another ice type, because I know for my dragon, which I'm going to be using, I'm going to be bringing out, well, Flygon, which will replace Mamoswine, because I don't like type conflictions. Then we get another Pokemon. Kind of thinking of one. Not going to say it out loud, but it would kind of conflict with Chandelure. I'll be thinking, oh shit, what am I going to do now? Here's your answer. I'm going to, if the type Pokemon I get conflicts with the type of Chandelure, I'm going to be taking out the Larvesta and training it to all death, so I can make it a Volcarona. So I can have one of the hands down single best moth Pokemon in the entire game. I don't care if you like some Pokemon like Dustox or... Why are the names escaping me right now? Any other moth-type Pokemon, one that's based off a moth or anything? If you like those, perfectly okay with that. I just wouldn't use them because they're all pretty bland and not the best stats. Volcarona. Definitely would be using that. Hands down, I would use that. If I didn't have already a Chandelure, I would use that. And because the Pokemon I'm thinking of that's an ice type, ice and another type would probably conflict with Chandelure, I would replace Chandelure with Larvesta, which would turn into Volcarona. And if you can put 2 and 2 together, you can kind of figure out what two types said Pokemon I'm thinking about currently is. Keep battling. I also need some experience. Absol needs to learn Mega Horn! I can use Psycho Cut for once. I haven't used Psycho Cut, this episode. Well, this turn and this gym also kind of applies to that. I haven't used Psycho Cut much in general. Psycho Cut probably maybe lost during, when I'm learning new moves, mainly because the Absol learns 3 more moves in its lifetime. The Mega Horn, Mega Horn, which I mentioned earlier, then Sucker Punch, which I didn't mention, and then after Sucker Punch, there's the, again, already mentioned Superpower. If I were to have all 3 of those moves, if I were had a Dark type, a Bug type, a Fighting type, and a Psychic type, I could essentially tank the entire Elite Four with one Pokemon. Sadly, that wouldn't work because, well, how it would work the first time would be the Dark type move would be able to take care of the Ghost, and the Psychic Bug would be able to take care of Psychic and Dark, and Fighting would be able to take care of Dark right off the bat, and Psychic would be able to be taking out Fighting. Well, I don't know if I mentioned that as being... I probably mentioned before, I can't remember because I'm dumb. That's I've completely said before. But... Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought all the time here. Oh, you son of a bitch! Well, thank you for wasting your turn. You died. You are die now. You are die now. Yep, that's the name of the episode. You are die now. But Absol has the type disadvantage of being, you know, weak to fighting type moves, and therefore, if a fighting type were to be faster than Absol, Absol would be screwed. And I don't like being screwed. I prefer my unscrewed state. I do very much appreciate my unscrewed states. But that's where I need another Pokemon. Right off the bat, I could think of Zapdos, who would be used for, well, fly, and I could just spam fly the entire time. Or I could find another Pokemon that could also help. Only difference, what? Weaknesses to fighting that well, the only weakness fighting has are flying and... Well, the two I can name off the top of my head are flying and psychic. If... Technically, Zapdos knows a flying type move, no, of course Zapdos knows a flying type move. Zapdos knows a psychic type move, but that's agility, it wouldn't really help. However, I would need a Pokemon that would probably help against the fighting. I don't know what that would be, because I would most likely get rid of Psycho Cut. The moves I would probably have on Absol would probably be Night Slash, Sucker Punch, Mega Horn, and Superpower. That'd be a good move set. The reason I would have Sucker Punch and Night Slash is one, Night Slash has a very high critical hit ratio, and with Super Luck and the already equipped Scope Lens I think I have, that would be really nice. It'd be a really nice combination. I could have a lot of critical hits. The odds would be in my favor in that aspect. But what Sucker Punch does, if the Pokemon that it's being used on is planning to use a physical type move, then Absol would attack first and hit it. However, if the Pokemon were going to use a status infliction move or any other move like Hail, Defense Curl, Sleep Powder, Hypnosis. You know what I'm trying to say here, hopefully, and if you don't, then don't even know. With, focusing. Not my forte. With... Well, long story short, Sucker Punch only will only hit at all and will strike first if the Pokemon is planning to use a physical type or damage dealing move. That is all. That's all I've been trying to say for the past minute and a half. But because of my dumb, I was unable to say that.
Ah! Oh, wow, that finally out of the way. I think I got everything I want to handle.
Talked about the Elite Four, team rearrangement, well, Team Elite Four Pokemon, which kind of messes with the team really there. And that's actually all I have. That's all I can think of. Well, that's a lie. I actually can think of a lot of things I would want to talk about right now. One of those being, yesterday. Yesterday, again, if you have my Twitter, you would already know this. But I went to see, the Expendables 2 yesterday, which would have been Sunday for those, well, because this is uploaded tomorrow, assuming you watch it on day 1. Or maybe you're watching it here in the future. You can probably calculate what day it is. I'm always up. This one was going up on Tuesday. On Sunday, I went and saw The Expendables 2. It's a good movie. You got your expected badass moments, explosions, blood killing, death of a teammate, ass-kicking Chinese woman, and subtle references to previous movies. They also had their Chuck Norris, which they need more of. I honestly thought they should have had a little bit more of Chuck Norris in it. They did have Chuck during part of them, like you saw him the first time halfway through the movie, and then they continued. You have him in the last scene. I'm not going to spoil anything, mostly because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head for the life of me. I can remember parts of it, kind of how my mind works. What am I trying to say? But I honestly thought that I thought they need more Chuck Norris in it. It could just be me, the fact that I have a Chuck Norris poster mounted kind of behind my computer, behind my TV. But whatever. It's a good movie. If you like action, go see it. That's my official recommendation. I give it about an 8 out of 10. That's just me. Well, it's because I never give out 9s out of 10s or 10s out of 10. Because I don't believe in perfect movies. Also, what also happened was, before that, before we went and saw the Expendables, I got my hair cut, thank God. Sadly, you don't give a shit about that, nor do I, now they're completely irrelevant. But after that, I went to EB Games. For those living down the states, that's the equivalent of GameStop. And I wanted to see what games they had. Looking for some Wii games, also looking for some games for future LPs. And Blizzard's probably gonna kill Absol, by the way. Or not. I'm gonna heal him real quick. Went there, and I was like, okay, let's see what they got. I went in there looking for three possible games. One of which I got, one of which I found that is only I would have to get online, and third of which wasn't there for whatever reason. The first game, I'll talk about the one that wasn't there for whatever reason. That one was Okami for the Wii, because I barely have any Wii games. You'd be like, why would you get Okami? Well, I don't know why we just get Okami. The LP community has a really good opinion on Okami based on what I could tell of it. And holy crap, I'm getting my ass beat. And that's not what I wanted to do. You're like, I wanted to get Okami because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I was like, maybe I want to try. I look for it, go to their Wii section, which is not the easiest thing to see. I go there, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for Okami. Not there. Of all the games that I thought they would have, Okami was one of them. I honestly did not think they wouldn't have Okami. I was like, okay, you don't have Okami. Then I asked if they have any of the Metroid Prime games, because I loved Prime 2, even though I don't have it bought from a cousin, and then I got it on ROM and emulated it, hence the entire Sky Temple series I did way back when. I was asking them if they had them, but because they were GameCube, they said to me they don't carry any more GameCube games. And, okay, that's the gym. I'm gonna want to actually go back and heal up, and because I still have some more, I still have time, I still want to talk. It's a fun ice slide right there. They're like, we don't carry more GameCube games, which was, like, okay. I'll just see if you have Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, because it's on the Wii. I have Metroid Prime 3 now, sitting right next to me. Then I asked if they had the Metroid Prime Trilogy game, that Retro Studios released back in 2009, where they put all 3 Metroid Prime games on one disc and ported the 2 GameCube ones to the Wii. It's like, you're gonna have to search for eBay or whatever. So I was like, okay. It's a collector's edition, and the game itself was discontinued 4 months after being first released. I don't know what I was expecting there, but I probably should have expected it to not be in stock or out of existence. That's the Metroid Prime Trilogy game. Again, it consists of all 3 Metroid Prime games. And what I heard her say. Has all 3 Metroid Prime games on the Wii and ported into one disc. I wanted it, but at the same time I also have Prime 3 Corruption, which is included in Prime Trilogy because of course it's part of the Metroid Prime Trilogy. And I want the first 2 Metroid Prime games. For what reasons, if you honestly want to know, I've said it on Twitter a few times, but clearly none of you follow me on Twitter, none of that, so you guys wouldn't know. I'm not going to explain it right now. But I want all 3 of the Metroid Prime games, and as soon as I get the Prime Trilogy, I'll be thinking, okay, what am I going to do with my new copy of Corruption? Maybe I'll send it back to EB Games, maybe get something from it? I don't know. Honestly, I still want to talk! There's nothing for me to do! Ah! let's just run around on the ice. That sounds like a good idea. Because blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, what am I trying to say here? What am I going to do when I get Prime, even though Prime is part of the trilogy? Maybe I'm gonna give it back to EB Games. I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to get the entire Prime trilogy. I don't care if it's if it's one game each for 3 games. A friend of mine actually had a copy of the original Prime, and he was gonna let me borrow it, but sadly he doesn't know the whereabouts of it anymore. So and he's trying to look for it. So he didn't realize that he didn't know where it was until I was walking there to get it. So instead, he let me borrow his copy of Wind Waker until he found it. And I'm playing through Wind Waker right now too. But I'll probably talk about that some other time probably by the next time I record VoltWhite, which is probably gonna be on the Thursday. Maybe I'll get a bit farther into Wind Waker and I can tell you it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I'm not enjoying it the most. Not really because of the cell shading or the sailing. It's just a few other things that are kind of annoyed me. And also, yesterday I also went because my brother wanted to get some new earbuds. At Best Buy, because they also sell games. I was like, I wonder if they have Okami here. They didn't have Okami there. Thinking, what the hell happened to every copy of Okami? Jesus Christ! But instead, I picked up Donkey Kong Country Returns. I did enjoy Donkey Kong Country 2, despite how I felt about it during my DKC2 LP. I do enjoy it. I was like, okay, maybe I should play the game. Retro made the Prime trilogy. Let's see what they did with Stupid Fly. What they did with the Stupid Fly. What they did with Donkey Kong Country, and I have not played that. I'm not religious. Shut up. I have not played Donkey Kong Country Returns or Metroid Prime 3 yet because I want to get Wind Waker out of the way and done with. So after about 5 to 10 minutes of me rambling on because I still wanted to talk about everything, that is about it for this episode. Please feel free to leave a like, maybe comment, share to your other friends, people. I don't know. I don't. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter. Link in the description, as I mentioned earlier. If you're like, I want to follow you on Twitter, but I couldn't find you. Well, first of all, you probably didn't look hard enough because you didn't search JX126 into Twitter, because that's my, username on everything. Sometimes it's I'm rambling on. Thank you so much for watching. I am JX Jacob, and peace.